Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, Jeremy Newmark is a name that's gathering some infamy at a rather increased pace, and that is due to comments that he made in a council meeting several days ago. As you know, I did a live on this, and this is the thumbnail. Councillor in trouble. Is he resigning? Breaking news. And this covered the events that transpired on that unfortunate day. Now, just for a recap, and in case anybody wasn't aware of what was going on, have a look at this video here. And again, what I want you to pay attention to, as well as what Jeremy Newmark says, is the row immediately behind him. Look at the guy on the right and look at the girl on the left, and we'll discuss.
Also a bit disappointed that my question was diverted from the portfolio holder, but anyway, you've spoken about extremists. Do you accept that by constantly linking our national flag to extremism, as you did in the question, or the answer to the question, as well as many Labour MPs at the moment, that you run the risk of letting extremists define it instead of reclaiming it for the mainstream?
Thank you, Councillor Rosehill. Councillor Newmark, please.
Thank you for your question, Councillor Rosehill. And I'm sorry, but I'm not playing. I won't be taking lectures on our national flag and extremism from a councillor that has the audacity to speak in almost glowing terms in his question to this council about Operation Raise the Colours. Operation Raise the Colours. An organised and orchestrated attempt by a bunch of criminals, extremists, nonces, to hijack our national flag. Yes, Councillor Rosehill, this is the organisation that you cited in glowing terms in your question. Look at the individuals behind that organisation. Look at the individuals behind Tommy Robinson's event this weekend. Look at their string of criminal convictions, sex offences and such like. Those are the people that councillors in the group opposite see fit to quote in this chamber, see fit to laud in this chamber, and see fit to use as part of normative political discourse, then something is very wrong.
Thank you, Councillor.
Well, as I've said before, he's right about one thing. Something is very wrong, and by any measure, the language that he used, and you see he was spitting through his teeth, is completely unacceptable. Well, the comment that caused the most outrage out of all of them, of course, was the word nonce. You look at the dictionary definition of that word and you will see why people feel the way they do. Now, in the wake of that, he offered an apology of sorts. And it was literally a quarter of an apology, at least the meaning of it, really. And I covered that in the live, which this is the thumbnail for. Apology as the complaint basically explodes. You know, he said that he's sorry for the way some of the words come across, and then immediately turned into deflection mode and tried to blame Tommy Robinson. Well, there was a letter that went in, a letter of complaint that's spearheaded by Noel Wilcox, and most of you should know who Noel is, but this is him and I outside the Royal Courts of Justice in London, where he was up there dealing with matters pertaining to ULEZ. And the letter that he's raised has been countersigned by, I think it's 8 other Reform branch chairs throughout the region. Now, this is the thing, you know, whether you're Reform, Advance, or whatever you happen to be, you can support a cause as long as it's a worthy one. Sod political politics, that's got nothing to do with it. It's right or wrong. And what this gentleman has turned around and said is absolutely wrong. Now, as the title of this video explains, Hertsmere Council has responded. Noel sent me the response from them this morning, and I want to share that now with you with his permission. So here we go. Dear Mr. Wilcox, thank you for your email, 19th of September 2025, attaching your letter regarding the alleged conduct of Councillor Newmark at the council meeting on the 17th of September. Complaints alleging that a member has failed to comply with any of the requirements of the member's code of conduct are dealt with in accordance with the member complaints procedure. In summary, all complaints are triaged by the standards assessment panel, who are empowered to take one of three decisions: take no further action, refer the complaint to the monitoring officer to invoke council's informal disputes resolution procedure, or to refer the complaint to the monitoring officer to procure an investigation of the complaint. The panel consists of the chair of the Standards Committee, sitting with two independent persons supported by the monitoring officer or deputy monitoring officer. In the event that the panel refers a complaint to the monitoring officer for investigation, that officer will appoint a suitably qualified person to conduct an investigation and prepare a report giving an opinion whether or not he or she considers that a breach of the member's code of conduct has occurred. If so, the complaint will be referred to the Standards Committee to conduct a hearing, as only the Standards Committee is empowered to determine that a member has failed to comply with one or more of the requirements of the member's code of conduct and to impose a sanction for such misconduct. All complainants are required to complete a complaint form, more bureaucracy, and consequently, please find a copy of the form for your completion, together with a copy of the member's code of conduct. Finally, please note that the Standards Committee currently lacks the power to suspend any member, but even if it did have that power, I would expect the committee to operate on a presumption of good character and conduct on the part of any member until the latter is disproved through due process, in this case by the application of the Council's adopted procedures for dealing with complaints alleging that a member has failed to comply with the requirements of the member's code of conduct. So far as removal from the office of Leader of the Council is concerned, that is a matter for full council as the body that's appointed him. Yours sincerely, Sajida Bijij. And again, apologies if I say that name correctly. Now, there's a couple of things that I pull out of that response. Number one, alleged misconduct. He was caught on camera doing it. What's alleged about it when it's right there in front of you? And also, reading between the lines throughout that entire passage, it comes across as a system that's designed to protect its own. You think two independent people supported by the monitoring officer, somebody else and somebody else. It's like, you know, and the way they talk about procedure and the assumption of good character and everything at the end, it just appears to me that this is the beginning of gently sweep it under the rug affair. And to be quite honest, that's not good enough, completely unacceptable. And the pressure needs to be kept on. So on that basis, there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, obviously, and please share this around social media. People like this should know that it's unacceptable to treat people and accuse people of being such things. You know, free speech, yes, I'm all for free speech, of course I am. But there are consequences. I mean, if you compare this and then look at the news that's come out about Katie Hopkins today, hell of a difference, isn't there? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. And as always, I look forward to talking to you soon. Doodaloo.